It's been said that changing your tactic too many times can lead to your players becoming discontented and confused. But not changing your tactic at all when needed can lead to the same outcome. So, how do you make sure you find a balance and your tactic does not fail when you need it most? Let's start with identifying if the tactic you use is at fault. The obvious sign is that you start losing points when you shouldn't have. You might argue that players' morale can lead to poor team dynamics and bad dressing room atmosphere, and so the results would drop. However, what if it is the other way around? Your tactic is letting you down during matches, so this leads to players dropping morale, which leads to poor team dynamics and bad dressing room atmosphere. Let's explore 3 key areas that tell you that your tactic is failing you, and the first one being the tactic itself. Every Football Manager player has a style of play in mind when starting a save, and often, this style of play prevails over what the chosen team is accustomed to. For example, let's imagine that you wish to manage Real Madrid, but your preferred style of play is tiki-taka, passing the ball around until the opening comes up and you have a chance at scoring. At first, we may think that hey, it's Real Madrid, I can buy the players I need, sell the ones I don't need, and be fine. But things are not that easy. Even if you manage to shape the team in your style in record time, there is going to be an effect on the results overall. The players need time to get accustomed to one another, especially on the pitch. And this is seen in Football Manager when the easiest of passes are miscalculated. The best goal scorer misses chance after chance after chance. The best defenders in the world get caught out. This is not the player's fault, it's the lack of time and practice. Trying to enforce a tactical style to a team that was not using it before takes time to be pulled off. Another area that can help identifying a failing tactic is the medical center. Here, you are being told everything that you need to know about your player's physical condition. It might be an area that you don't visit too much, but I would advise you to at least take into consideration this part here, as the risk assessment tells you which players are fatigued and which ones are underplayed. If you base your tactical decisions and team selection on this assessment as well, you avoid players getting injured or your team losing points they shouldn't have. I don't know if you've ever played key players when they are fatigued, but it's like they are different, worse than they should be. Sometimes it's better to keep this in check and play a younger, less experienced player in a match, rather than a fatigued experienced one. And the last, but not the least area that can cause your tactic to fail is using players in roles they cannot play. It is a custom in Football Manager to use players based on their attributes and not on role suitability. And the better the player, the greater the chances for him to be able to play in that role regardless. Which is true. Doing it with as fewer players as possible does not harm the team's results, but doing it with too many players can cause your team to play chaotically. Now, having all of this in mind, and let me tell you the bad news, there are more areas that can point to a failing tactic. These are just the areas that I have experienced recurrently. What can you do to keep things balanced? The most important thing is to act. As soon as you think that your tactical approach has been compromised, change something. It may be the roles, the duties, the positions, or even the whole system. Don't be afraid to change and just keep waiting for the results to improve. They aren't going to improve. The outcome is going to be the same, always. Audit your team, check the players' morale, your team's dynamics, their physical shape, even the training routines. Check everything that is possible and available in the game and act on what you see. The smallest tweak can turn your team around and save your job. So, go in your saves, audit your teams and act accordingly.